Alright, so today's going to be a rant video. Hayden's fed up. Hayden is so fed up that it is 1 a.m. right now. I don't ever make a video past 10 a.m. Never. Ever. Not at all. I don't think that I'm going to be able to stop. I've only got 42 minutes of recording time. There's not going to be any cuts. So for all of you filthy people who only watch this channel for you fucking creeps, you can piss off. Now, for those of you who are curious of what I'm going to rant about, it's going to be on what I've mentioned before. However, when I took a little break and I posted those update videos, I actually dropped it and I didn't want to talk about the law of attraction or the entrepreneur movement like I went on. But something has come up. We're adding a third party onto this. It's going to be a mass shooting here on the Milk and Honey channel. Either way, we're going to go over the New Age group, including the new magical sort of channels popping up everywhere. Number 2, we're going to go over the entrepreneur movement. Number 3, the law of attraction movement, or vice versa. I don't know. We're going to be all over the frickin' place today. Either way, this video is going to not be a self-mastery video. It's probably going to be in the unpopular opinion video, as you're going to find out why. There's only a few that probably have this opinion, but I really want to get this out. Alright, so first what triggered this is some of the New Age channels that I see posting. And some of the New Age shit that I see online. People are like, their sun sign Sagittarius. And so they identify with Sagittarius. Not understanding how astrology works. And they post things like Sagittarius, the most critical. Which, for anybody worth their sun or moon sign, knows that that's a Virgo trait. And I would know that because my sun and Mercury are in Virgo. So it's completely bullshit. And so people are posting these things. And there was another channel that was posting these. I'm not going to give out his name because I don't have anything against the guy. However, though, I do want to give my opinion on these things. Don't take these as something that you need to react. Don't get mad about how I feel. But for those of you who agree, I'm here to speak it out to you or with you. But, so these channels are like, what the New Age channels are doing nowadays is they're going over everything. They have no niche at all. They're not trying to narrow it down. There is no practice. You can tell when some of these channels, they don't really have a practice because they'd go over it. Now, I know I don't go over my practice here. However, this channel isn't for that. These New Age channels, though, they try to make it for that, and they go over all kinds of things. 10 signs you're awakened, how to open your third eye, how to access the Akashic records, how to do chakra breathing, how to do yoga, and they're the masters of knowing everything in the New Age. Now, I'm going to admit, I don't fucking know everything out there. However, though, I do have my niche, and I do know good well about it. Now, knowing good well about it helps me in the other areas where I know that New Agers don't know what they're talking about. And these channels have all kinds of subscribers because a lot of people don't know what they're talking about.
I used to be a heavy New Ager.
And a lot of you are going to get pissed. But however, there's things that are so necessary that are part of the New Age. The entrepreneur movement, the law of attraction. There's so many things that we need from them. As I'm saying that I'm going to be ranting about them, there is an upside, and I will go over that in this video. However, though, I'm spitting fire at this point. Now, one of these same channels that I'm talking about has recently posted a video out of nowhere. They usually go over different New Age stuff, and I actually liked this guy's channel for a moment. I watched a few of his videos, and I didn't really have anything against what he said. He was teaching some things that kind of were off. He was teaching manifestation, but not about forgetting. However, though, it's not that you need to forget, but especially if you're doing a ritual, if you're casting a sigil, like we learned in the last video, you have to forget about it. You have to banish it. It must be gone for it to come back. You can't hold on to it because the subconscious mind can't. This isn't a lesson. We're not talking about this. We're talking about the problem. Even though it isn't a problem. See, from a polarized point of view, things are problems, but when viewed from the other side, then your side is the problem. It is a back and forth, and so I do understand both ways. And so I don't have everything against all these people. We're going to go over actually what I like about them as well. And I keep going to teach again. Either way, so this individual is posting all the New Age stuff, but then out of nowhere they posted how to connect with the 72 goetic spirits. And I know well enough that in the Golden Dawn tradition, you train for at least half a decade, and in my opinion, that isn't long enough before you even start touching those sorts of things. And so when they're teaching these things on YouTube, I just think How unfortunate.
I used to be a heavy New Ager.
But either way, if you want to toy with that shit, go ahead. I mean, nobody's got anything against it. I don't really have anything against it, but I do have an opinion about it that I want to get out. I want you to understand the difference. I'm not trying to get you to believe anything. I don't want you to see what I see, but those who see what I see, I want to gather here. Now, as I said, these New Age channels have all the following because it is an unpopular opinion that a lot of it is hogwash. A lot of New Age channels, like I said earlier, Sagittarius, the most critical, they'll talk about it like that, not understanding that is a Virgo trait. And there's people that are just posting so many things. And the fake Buddha quotes, man, those are the worst. The Buddha quotes that aren't even Buddha quotes, most of them are anonymous, and so a lot of people will put a name to it because they can't find it, but it's better left unwritten. Now, I don't really have much to say about the New Age people right now in this part of the video. However, though, there are some good New Age channels who do focus on a specific niche. Now, I'm not too into hoodoo, but there is a channel out there called Hoodoo Delish, and it does have the New Age vibe, but it has great information, especially if you're wanting to delve into hoodoo. See, it's a specific thing, but these New Age channels go over how to open your third eye. And dude, I've seen videos of how to spot a fake woke person. Dude, this whole woke shit, I'm tired of it. Hayden's fed up. As I said, it's 1 a.m. I couldn't sleep. But they'll just go over everything in short detail. See, imagine it like the ocean. Imagine you've got all these little fish bobbers, going down, and they can only go to a certain level. Let's say you have a certain amount of string. Now you can cut up that string and dip it all the way in the top of the water, only going an inch down, or you could keep that long string, or even divide it into 2 or 3 and still have them go deep into information. See, when people try to learn everything and know everything, the more they don't know. And I would know this because I have a Sagittarius midheaven. I want to know everything, and I want to tell everybody about it. As I said, this channel's an outlet for me. We're going to go over social outlets and also hobbies that are therapeutic soon. You see, the biggest problem in my channel is that I've tried so hard not to become like these channels, and I'm trying to focus on a specific niche, but to be honest, I'm also trying to not do what everybody's doing and teach everything. Even though I do know a lot about different subjects, I only delve into a good few on the regular. And so it's why I'm not posting all the time. It's why sometimes it's hard for me to make a video because, while I want to teach something, I'm like, I'm not ready to talk about that right now. I'm not really eager to get everything out right now, which is kind of odd because Pluto is also directly conjunct the midheaven. But that's a whole nother topic. But for those of you New Agers who actually know what you're talking about, who actually know astrology, will enjoy that. But either way, moving on. There are a lot of good New Age channels, as I talked about Hoodoo Delish, where they go into specific topics. I don't want to blast on anybody's channel because everybody's path is their own. I don't want to tell them not to do what they're doing. It's not that it's wrong. However, I'm not in favor of it. And so we're going to move on to the entrepreneur movement. Now, what don't I like about the entrepreneur movement? Now, you remember when we were reading the happiness track and we were going over a lot on, stress and that sort of deal and just trying to grind. I actually don't think I made that lesson, grinding. I don't even think I've ever talked about my opinion on grinding. So all these entrepreneurs are, let's take EJ, it's E.T. Eric Thomas. Nothing against the guy. I actually like the guy. He's got a lot of Mars energy.
He came and took your money, but he didn't invest nothing back into you.
He's very that is Mars energy, motivational energy. He is doing exactly what he should be doing. He's very angry, and not angry, but he's very passionate. See, anger always comes across passion. When someone's passionate, and they're coming across angry, and you're like, why are you so angry? They're like, well, I'm being passionate. That's that Mars right there. And so he definitely has that, but also in the entrepreneur movement, there's these little truths, these little quotes that pass by that sound nice on the surface, but they don't really benefit us. Everyone in the entrepreneur movement is talking about beliefs that don't, serve us, but yet they're still making new beliefs that are just replacing the old ones that do the same thing. For example, grinding. You must grind to get anywhere. You gotta hustle. You gotta grind. You gotta be that entrepreneur who goes on. And you see, all these entrepreneurs, they get the entrepreneur high, and they get real motivated. The fire awakens in them, and they want They want to make other people entrepreneurs, and they go to, they make money off of teaching people to become entrepreneurs, and then the entrepreneurs will watch that teach other people to become entrepreneurs, or they post on the the Facebook about, here you can make money online from home, just pay for this account, and then everyone you sell to or whatever, you get a share of it. It's just like, is that really your passion? Because, if you want to do a pyramid scheme, just create a new one. They're not very hard. I could do one with this channel very easily, but that's besides the point. Either way, let's go back to grinding. Now, what is grinding? Now, grinding is the wearing down of something. When you grind, you are taking what is sharp and you are turning it into dull or blunt, which is not very good, especially for your mental state. And it's kind of why I want to get back into the happiness track book, but there is a reason why I cut it off. Number one, the search... what was coming up as search topics for the video, for when people were watching that video, what people were searching at the time, I could tell that they were students. And what I didn't want to do is give an individual summary of each chapter, talking 20 minutes, to where all they really had to do was watch the videos. As I said in the videos, I want you to go and buy the book. And so that's really why I cut it off, to be honest. But we might go back over it. But either way, this grinding, this wearing down, is not good, especially for stress. And we're going to talk about stress soon. You see, the thing about stress is that stress is when the mind is confronted with what you'd call a problem, I'd call a task. Now, these tasks, when you judge it, it becomes a problem. This is why I say don't judge things, because then you start viewing things as they really are. These problems are just tasks. Here I go lessening again. But this is important. And so when your mind and when yourself is confronted with a task, and it doesn't feel like it has the resources to overcome it, you start getting the effects of stress. And stress kills, dude. Stress sucks. And you need to realize that you have all the resource in the world. It's all in your head. Now, it's not all in your head. That's not what I'm saying. But you do have the resources up here, especially. And that's why I kind of wanted to delve into manifestation, even though I don't really like the law of attraction and all that stuff. I wanted to delve into it because I wanted to show you the resources that you could use to get out of problems, so that you could actually move on from being in whatever rut you're in. And so these entrepreneurs are, getting people really motivated. I really like Gary Vee. He's really harsh, really straightforward. I do like him for it. However, though, he'll talk about how, like, the moment you lose fucking momentum, you're done. You're out of the game, and then he went on about, like, being broke and stuff like that. And that's simply not true. There's been plenty of people who hustled hard in their 20s, fell down, lost momentum, and then back early in their late 40s, they're 10 times richer than they were back when they were hustling. You see, it's not up to that. You see, there's a way bigger formula than any speakers could come up with. The grand formula to everything is impossible. The closest thing I've been able to find is the Kabbalistic tree of life. And even that takes a whole lifetime to understand. But anyways, that's all I have to say now about the entrepreneur movement. Oh, no. Okay, so you motherfuckers that comment on my Instagram page and you're like, hey, I love your stuff. Why don't you hit me up so that we can connect? Or let's market together, or let's do this, or blah, blah, blah. Either way, I actually gave these people the benefit of the doubt, like a fool. You hit them up, you don't text back for a week, and you hit them up again. You're like, what the hell? And they've already posted 10 pictures, and you can see that they've commented on 10 other people saying the same thing. This is horseshit. Now, I know you're probably thinking, oh, Hayden, but you were teaching like practically the same shit back in the Wealth of Prosperity series, teaching about fool's marketing. Well, yeah, there's a reason I called it fool's marketing. But either way, if you've seen that video, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, don't even bother watching it. But either way, they'll say, oh, I've seen your stuff. I can check when you've seen my stuff. I can check and see how much you've watched of it, what video you watched, when you watched it, if you liked it, all sorts of things. No, you didn't. And you might have skimmed my Instagram, but all of you who watch the channel know that my Instagram really has nothing to do with this. I just post the quotes that I feel like are necessary. The things that the entrepreneur movement will teach that they sound nice on the surface, but they're really not. I would love to give some examples of these. I should really screenshot these when I see them. I actually might have done that. Man, while I'm looking through my screenshots, You know, you people who have the saddest lives, who are in depression, and I'm not trying to talk down on it at all. It's a very serious thing, and it is serious to those who are in it and experience it. I'm not disadmiring that. However, though, you are screwing yourself if you're people like this who post the sad-looking pictures, and it's like captioned, "I can't set my hopes too high, 'cause every hello ends with a goodbye." You know, that resonates with you because you're sad. You got to look at the things that are coming into your mind, as I've said, but also go look at what you're putting out. Look at what you're posting on social media. I don't really post a lot on my personal social media at all. I don't think I've done it in a good while, but, you know, people do this a lot, and then they wonder why they have the results like this, you know? You know, I'm going to look for some more screenshots, because this is ranty anyways. Oh, I actually screenshotted that picture I was talking about earlier. Sagittarius pay attention to every detail, making them smart criticizers. Hashtag truth, and nothing but the truth. Which, that's totally a Virgo trait. Let's see what else I got. Yo, for real, literally, what is this? You know, I know tarot cards out there. They've got like all kinds of different ones. They've got like fairy ones. They've got steampunk. They got like Celtic. You know, they space out. But then there's like ones that are like way off, and I don't understand it. I'm gonna zoom in so that you know. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna post it on the video. So look at this freaking card, 6 of Winter. Now I don't know what suit winter corresponds, but like literally, like what the fuck? Do you see this?
Heavy New Ager.
Either way, moving on. Now, we're going to go over to the law of attraction, and hopefully I can remember some other things and we can just jump back and forth. So the law of attraction movement, there's some good channels. Let me start with the good on this one first. Okay, number 1. There's a guy out there named Aaron Doughty. A lot of you probably heard of him because he has a shit ton of subscribers. Now, do I watch this guy? Not really. I do sometimes. I haven't in a while. Do I like the guy? Absolutely. He's definitely on his path. He definitely knows his stuff, and he's not like the other ones. Now, he does space out a little bit over a span of other things, but I can tell when he's speaking that he's not trying to come across as being the know-it-all, but saying that, hey, there is this knowledge about this. I'll give you a little details about it, you know, for those of you interested. And then, you know, he always will quote sources and other stuff like that. I like what he's doing, but I'm not a fan of channels that post every day. You know, I understand why they do it, but at the same time, in my opinion, it spreads yourself thin. As I said, I'm not pumping out videos all the time because I'm not trying to cover everything. I am trying to keep it kind of specific. I want to stay on the road that I've been on in this channel, if that makes sense. While we can turn off, you can't just flip things around, go here, take squares, take whole circles, you know, and just, we're keeping straight on. But I do like this guy's channel. I'm not a fan of video every day, popping up every day, and the one thing that sucks about him, I'm going to be honest, you know, if you were to watch a video and you really liked something in it, it's one of those things that'd be really hard to find again because they're not like cataloged like how you would normally catalog, I guess, a series, but all the thumbnails look the same, and it's like, try this, or like the one thing that you need left, or the one tip for this, or leaving out this secret, or the tip that changes it all, the 17 manifest, you know, like, and so I'd get mixed up, and especially since he's posting every single day, he's got a ton of videos, you know, he can obviously totally talk about his topic a lot. Now, I do think he does get repetitive. However, though, he does go into it a little deeper in different ways. That's how you have to do it. I've done it in this channel. Everyone does it in every channel, and every channel also technically contradicts itself. That's just the thing. If you record yourself talking about one topic for 20 minutes, anybody would be able to point out at least 3 points where you contradicted yourself. It's just the nature of polarity itself. But either way, so I like this channel, but there's some that I don't. There's some that try to copy them, because at the same time they'll post something about Carl Jung or something like that, and then everybody will do it, and it's all these channels that are way lower, and I can tell that they don't really know what they're talking about. You can tell when somebody's basing their knowledge off of knowledge that they got off of YouTube. Now, knowledge from places is fine. It's not like, oh, YouTube's not the best source. I mean, I'm on YouTube for fuck's sake. But true knowledge comes through experience, and like, as experienced as I would give them the benefit of the doubt of being in manifestation, since they haven't really left the law of attraction. I don't really think they've been practicing for long, because there's a time where you do kind of get into the occult side of it. Now, you're not going to just delve into witchcraft and spells, but there's important things in the occult. There's some important things in it that do have to do with manifestation. The things that they talk about in The Secret were talked about hundreds of years ago in the old grimoires, you see. And so while I'm not trying to be an old head and, being like, oh no, this is the right, it was the first, I am kind of an old head inside about it, but I do understand that there is change to everything. There's got to be a new blooming of everything. Everything has its cycles and reflections. And so while I'm fine with the law of attraction, there's a lot that I don't like about it, because they don't want to get into the occult side. And I understand it. It's a controversial thing. A lot of people don't understand it. But obviously I haven't wanted to talk about it. I can't really talk against people to do that if I'm doing it. But here's the thing. You can tell that these channels don't have any knowledge from true experience because of the way that they're explaining it. They're talking about manifesting parking lots. Why don't you try to manifest a specific dollar bill with a serial number? You can go read all those success stories at Frederick Xavier's channel. I've told you to go over there, where people manifest the most specific shit with pictures and proof. And this shit is no lie. You won't ever find it on the law of attraction stuff. Now, as I mentioned, Aaron Dowdy, he actually has gone over some things that they don't. He's actually mentioned astrology, the importance of it. He's gone into some deeper details. Now, a lot of the other ones don't do this. They just want to copy everyone else, and then they talk about it like they know what they're talking about. Like when they're talking about, here's the one thing that'll make you manifest the big stuff, as I said before, when really, and all she did was go on about feeling as if, which feeling is the feminine force. Feeling is corresponded to Netzach on the Tree of Life, and the thought part corresponds to Had. And so if you're just using one of them, the feeling as if, and not the thought, not the will, if you're not impregnating the subconscious mind with a task from the will, you're not correctly doing it. It's like jacking off. If you're just feeling as if, that's just the feminine force. That's why in the last video I went over how to actually do a ritual, how to cast a sigil, how to create the sigil. And these channels are like, here's how you manifest the big stuff. You gotta feel as if, and really visualize it. I'm fucking done. But here's the thing about manifesting the big stuff. You want the secret? You want the big secret? It's all about scale. There's no difference. If you can manifest a car, you can manifest a pencil. You see, why don't you just cast a sigil to do that? That'll be one of those weird things that you can forget easily and then manifest quickly. For those of you who do the law of attraction and have never casted a sigil, go back, watch my video on how to create a sigil, and here's a great idea. We should have done it. I'll actually make one and probably post it on Twitter or something. So go follow it over there, and I'll give you the sigil that I made for it. Or you can just make one up yourself. But cast to come across a green pencil, or cast for a green pencil to show up in your yard, and the shit will happen. They don't want to do this. Alright, something just popped in my head that I forgot to mention about the New Agers. So we're going to go back to them. Alright, so even though they're posting all of this content, it's like, wow, they got all this content. I love hearing them talk about this. Most of it's not even new. It's just the same thing. And, it's like, hey, here's how you do we'll just say the LBRP. And then someone else is like, well, I'm going to post it. Now, there are channels out there that go over it and they go deep into detail. They go over things that you won't learn in the other videos. There's some that are even like an hour and a half long. But the New Age channels that just go over the basics, see, that's what I was afraid I was going to become on this channel. I kind of took a break because I was like, I hope I'm not doing this shit. And it's the main reason why I told you I wanted to keep it off of YouTube. I didn't want to post the sigil video on here because I told you there's plenty of this stuff online, I'm not the only one that's just talking about it. There's plenty of it online, and I do want you to go check all of it out. And I try to recommend everybody that I can. But either way, getting back to what I was saying, they repackaged the same shit And like the one guy that I was talking about that was going on like, how to connect with the 72 goetic spirits. There's people online that are like this, and like there's people that don't even cast a circle when doing that sort of thing. There's some people that like, I feel like they don't even know what the LBRP is. Like Hayden really didn't want to make this video. Trying to think if there's anything else I really have to say. Either way, if you're one of those entrepreneurs, stop commenting on everybody's shit so that you can pop up everywhere so people can follow you, because it's phony, dude. If you're really going to connect and network with people, actually hold up with it. Now, there have been people that have held up with it. Not going to lie. Kale's one of those dudes. Sort of. It was more of... Actually, yeah, I'm totally wrong about that. But either way, as I ranted about everything that I didn't like, what do I like? Let's go all the way back to the New Agers. As I mentioned earlier, Hoodoo Delicious channel. It's been a long time since I've seen her channel, and I'm not trying to put her in the category of New Age. However, though, when viewed outside of the New Age, all the occult just kind of looks New Age, and then the occult looks like Satanism. But either way, there's some great channels that actually do know their knowledge, and they don't just repackage it. They go over different things that you can tell that they know what they're doing. You can tell that they have experience and knowledge, the same shit that the law of attraction channels don't have. Because they're always saying the same, they're explaining it the same way that the other one that just posted 2 days before made the same video. You see, one of them will make a 17-second manifestation video, and then 2 days later another one, and like you can pick out the same lines. Now, I know I've done this before, and I try to mention where I get the lines from because they really say it best most of the time. But here's the thing. I'm just... I don't even know why I'm doing this. Back to the New Agers, what do I like about them? Some of them go into their specific topics. They know their stuff. You can tell because they have their own spin on it. See, that's the thing about a purpose, is that you'll have your own spin on it when you're doing it. You're not just going to be copying somebody else. You're not going to be using somebody else's purpose. And so for those of you who have New Age or occult or magical channels who are doing their own thing and not spreading out everything and spotting fake woke people and how to, like, why the fuck does that matter? Who cares who else is woke? People think they're woke, and I don't even think I'm woke. It's foolish. But either way, what do I like about the law of attraction? Now, I mentioned Aaron Dowdy's channel. Now, Bob Proctor also talks about it, and I know he was in The Secret, and a lot of people don't like that, such as myself, but Bob Proctor, believe it or not, goes over the 12, I think his video is like a 12 laws of whatever, or like the 12 forgotten laws or something like that. But either way, as he's going over it, he's basically talking about some of the 7 hermetic principles. And one day I'm going to take this video and pick out some parts and show you what he's talking about. See, some of these law of attraction channels actually go over the information where they got it, because the law of attraction is just based upon basically the hermetic law of vibration. They're always talking about your vibrational state, moving to that state. They always talk about tuning the radio. I know Aaron Dowdy talks a lot about that. He's gone way deeper into detail about the radio tuning than any other bullshit law of attraction channel does. And so Aaron Dowdy, as I said, and then also Bob Proctor. He's a good one. Now, there's all kinds of other ones that I'm not mentioning. However, I can't remember them off the top of my head. I don't spend time watching them, but they do pop up on my feed, and I can't really help that. I'm getting to the point where I'd rather see BuzzFeed than see half of this bullshit. Let's move on to the entrepreneur movement. As I said, I complained a little bit earlier about E.T., about he's kind of harsh, he's really angry, he's got that motivational Mars energy. But I also said it was great for him. He does really well motivating people. He's definitely on his purpose and doing it very well. However, I'm not a fan of some of the things that pass by. Now, that doesn't mean that I just shut him out. I still listen to him sometimes. But when stuff comes like that, like you can't grind harder than me, or you gotta blah, blah, blah. Like, I see through that, and that's not like I'm just seeing through shit. But to motivate me is in a different area. Now, a lot of people having that shit said to him and listening to that does motivate him. And so it is good. It is good what he's doing. But for me, not so much. But I do like some of his perspective. And so with that entrepreneur channel or dude, I'm trying to think if there's any others that I like. You see, in the entrepreneur movement, there's a lot of people who are just trying to get other people to become entrepreneurs. There's an entrepreneur pyramid scheme, and there's people also trying to be motivational speakers. Now, I know I talk about motivational speakers from time to time, and I do like a few of them. A few of the old ones, Les Brown, Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins a little bit. There's a few others I'm leaving out. And I will go over them one day. I'll probably talk about them in a video. But I don't want to be that channel that just goes over everything. Like, now we're going to talk about the books that are on my shelf. And then, like, I don't really want to talk about too much opinion. It's why that this has been my first rant video out of 56. Either way, we're at 34 minutes. I thought I wasn't going to have enough time to talk about it all. But either way, if some of you are doing what I have said that I kind of don't like, don't stop. Please don't stop. That's terrible. I mean, I go on about following your purpose. Who am I to tell you not to do it? And also, at the same time, people are going to tell me not to do what I'm doing. It's not going to make me stop. So if you are people that are teaching people how to, not be woke or picking out people that aren't woke or fake woke, I don't like your shit. And you shouldn't be bothered by this. This is why you should do the middle pillar and become depolarized. And you'll start to see things from both sides, and so you can't argue. See, I can argue on the law of attraction side probably better than a few of them could. Because, I do see them get questioned about, well, how does this work? This is pseudoscience. But if you do understand a little bit more of the occult, you understand some hermetic principles, it does come into flourishing. Now, there's a reason I waited to talk about the good stuff, and that it's fine what you're doing, and that I don't want you to stop this. And this video is going to be an example of a great many things. As I said, I purposely do things on this channel. I know some people are going to have shit to say, and a lot of them won't watch the whole video. And I will know this. I will know this because of what you'll say and what points that you have perceived and not perceived. And so, don't come calling up to me angry. Don't come trying to change my perspective. I don't want to change your perspective, and so don't try to change mine. Have your own perspective. And I mean, if you want, make a video and trash talk me. I actually, I do like a good diss game. I'm not gonna lie. It was my favorite time in high school was to have roast wars. And so, dude, if you're funny and you want to shit talk me, completely make a video. I mean, I'll watch it. I might even do one of those shitty reaction channel videos where I'm laughing my ass off, probably. I should totally make a diss video against me and then make a video of me reacting to it. You see, that's some new level shit. Either way, gone on long. I feel a lot calmer now. I really don't want to post this video, but I'm gonna have to. Either way, if you haven't seen my last video, which is the sigil video, and if you haven't seen it, go watch it. I'm not gonna let it pop up yet because YouTube only lets me do it at the last 20 seconds. But I do want to mention something. I mentioned that I didn't want to post the sigil video, or I didn't want to make a sigil video because I didn't want to repackage shit. However, that isn't to say that I don't have my own personal knowledge and experience on sigils. I certainly do, and it's why I went over the steps and the importance of cycling up to the top and then the 2 at the bottom, so that you're constantly manifesting things and casting for things. You are on a loop. You are exercising your will, and that's a lot of what people don't talk about at all. They teach you how to make the sigil and then cast it, and it's important to keep doing it. You can't dabble. You really can't dabble. Now, some people are like, oh, you can dabble, it's just trying things. I'm not saying it's not trying things. What I'm saying is when you're dabbling, you just do something once, then you move on. And a lot of the new agers do this. They move from one thing to one thing to one thing. They don't have a certain practice, and I know I don't talk about a certain practice on here, but that's not the point of my channel. The point of my channel is really, I don't know, a new perspective. In my opinion, if, people want change, I feel like they should go out and do it. It was at a point where I had my opinions on things and how I viewed things, and I know that there's other people that view them the same way. However, it was foolish for me to just sit back, in my opinion, and hope that this would be passed on, if that makes sense. I do want to mention that the sigil video, just because I talked about repackaging shit, that doesn't have repackaged information. Now, how to make a sigil? Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. However, though, there is one thing that I give in it that I've never seen in another video, and I would like some other people who actually do have an occult practice to hit me up and let me know what they think about this method. In the video, I didn't really go into detail because I didn't really think of it as a method. It's just what I've always done. And so when some people create sigils, they will have it to where at the end result you can see every letter still. And I've never been a fan of that. And so and other people are too, but however, they'll just simplify and they'll squish it together. And I do that sometimes. However, though, I've gotten the best results from doing the blurred eye method, as I said. Looking through the sigil, kind of blurring your eyes to where you can see a form and shape, and then you draw what you saw, and then you might have to see another form in that, and then a form within the form, and then finally whenever you have it to where it feels right. And so that's why I posted it here, is because I felt like nobody was talking about that, because I don't even know if anybody else does that. It might just be me. I might be totally wrong, and it's just working because I've done it and believed that it works. It's weird how all this stuff works. But either way, watch the sigil video. Even if you do already know how to do sigils, it might give you some insight about stuff. Now, if you haven't seen the last video, you click right here, and if I didn't piss you off, click right here and subscribe. I will for you all to prosper, and have a great day.